All right. What are they saying? Fight the power. We got to fight the power that be. Follow me here. We got to fight the power that be. Okay, we're going to break this down. Fight the power. Fight is the action that you are to take, or what you're being instructed to take. So therefore, the fight is internal. The power is something that is external. Therefore, we can put a line right here in the middle. Follow me here. On the left side is you. Internal domain, you, fight. On the right side is external domain. It's not you. Therefore, power is external of you. Follow me here. Therefore, the listener is being programmed to see power as something external of themselves, to perceive themselves as being weak, and to expend energy fighting against something that is ambiguous. The power? What does that mean? See, for some people, the power means your job. For some people, the power means your boss. For some people, it means the government. For some people, it's Illuminati. For some people, it means your mate. It's ambiguous. Anytime you're dealing in ambiguity, you're dealing in confusion, and therefore you're in a state of mind control. You fight in your internal domain. You fight something that is external of you, that is not defined, and it's more powerful than you. Therefore, you are less powerful than it. That's disempowerment.
Position of helplessness.
Yes, we talked about in part. Yes. When the power that exists outside of you is not defined, then you are set on course for perpetual rebellion against anything that you perceive to be power, which includes yourself. You are literally programmed to rebel against yourself. How so? Because you are the power. And for you males who be listening to see this online, understand when we talk about manhood, you are the power. That don't make you better than a woman. But in terms of perceiving your role within a family institution, you have power to impact the quality of your family institution's life. That's what I'm getting at. But if you perceive the power to be external of you, your masculinity has just been compromised. So you got all these people screaming, fight the power. Now, to take it a step further, internal domain, which is you, external domain, which is not you, we've got to fight the powers that be. Now it's we. Who's we? In this case, in the case of we've got to fight the powers that be, the neuro-linguistic programming, the mind control is specifically directed at a group of people, namely black people. Again, the powers that be is undefined and ambiguous. Because now it's we, it's inclusive. It's a group of people now. That's why you had all the people shouting and rallying. Therefore, black people are being programmed to see power as something external of themselves, to perceive themselves as being weak, and to expend energy fighting against something that is ambiguous, instead of being at home and taking care of your babies. You think I'm going to be out here marching, talking about fight the power? No. I will stay home and read my sons a book. Yes, sir.
When you read the book, it stimulates the mind.
That's right. I want y'all to notice something here. You see this? What's that?
Transformers.
Transformers. But what group are the Transformers?
Decepticons.
Decepticons. And this was placed there specifically. And they could have edited this out. Decepticons. What is the root word of Decepticons? Deception. And that's what this mess was all about from the beginning. And they're telling it to you. And who did this video, by the way? Spike Lee.
Jordan.
Now look again. Look at this one more time, because I want you to show you this was specifically placed. This is a subliminal embed. Look at this.
Can't believe this.
He's never respected that.
He's cracked out.
That's by design. That's not by accident. And as an editor, you can edit that out if you need to. I do my own documentaries. I edit stuff out all the time when necessary. That was specifically placed there to send a message. Also, understand that also Decepticons, in that they're the bad guys within Transformers. They're the evil ones. It also suggests that somehow to be rebellious, we have to be deceptive. Therefore, we're bucking the system. We're fighting the power, even though the power is not defined. There it is. And then they got Malcolm here in the background.
Yeah.
Ain't that deep? Public Enemy Subliminal Association's S1W members affiliation with the Nation of Islam. That's another way in which they subliminally projected this group as being revolutionary. S1W's military battle fatigues, which we're going to see in a moment. S1W's militarization via black gloves, berets, and guns. Yeah, put on some black gloves, put on some berets, hold some guns, and therefore you're about black consciousness and upliftment of black people. You're revolutionary, automatically. All of these things were subliminally used as symbolic representations of resistance, revolution, or rebellion. Let's give an example of this. Look at the attire.
It's a grip.
Okay, here's Professor Grill.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you see the berets. Okay, and you see the militarized outfits.
Yeah.
Now you see the camouflage here. This is subliminal. Okay, they weren't going to war.
Cold.
They weren't fighting in the streets. This is, and where are they at, by the way? They're in jail. Who made the phone call so they can come up in here in the first place? Because you know, Chuck, one of y'all called up and say, yeah, I'm going to bring my group of homies and we're going to be dressed like this and we're coming down there right now, so be ready for us. It don't work like that. Who makes the call? The hidden hand makes the call. Those who are behind the scenes, who are in control, the individuals who have these individuals signed to contracts. And here on the bottom, look here, they're standing on a flag, an American flag. Oh, they're standing on a flag, therefore they must be about revolution. See the battle fatigues? This brother right here got an African medallion, and then he got a Raiders jersey under it. Or a Raiders. See that? And see how they have the black gloves and they have the guns, but who are they pointing at? You. Think about that. They're pointing at you. Here's the black attire again. Now this black attire is relevant because when people, for adolescent people, when they want to rebel, they start to wear black. I mean, other people do it too, but you wear black. This is relevant, okay? Watch this. Here's the battle fatigues again. Here's Public Enemy in all black. They're rebels now, right? Well, there's other artists who did the same thing. Who's this? Eazy-E, niggas with attitudes. His lyrical content was some of the most egregious stuff you'll ever hear. Bitches and hoes and just crazy stuff. But he didn't used to dress like this. And I have evidence to prove. When I get into him, I'll show you. It was a marketing strategy for him to become gangsterized, just like it was a marketing strategy for Public Enemy to become, quote unquote, conscious. So you see, the matter of fact, Public Enemy is supposed to represent the opposite of what he represents. That's an interesting concept, is it not? Let me say it again. Keep this in mind. Public Enemy is supposed to be the opposite of what he represents, the whole gang thuggish archetype. Now, this brother was in Niggas with Attitudes. One of the members was who? Ice Cube. Ice Cube did an album, KKK's Most Wanted, in 1990. So you throw in KKK now, you're all about upliftment of black people. Even though before, you was talking bitches and hoes. Inconsistency. As a matter of fact, in 1990, he does this album, and he puts on the black and so forth. And in 1991, he does a film, Boys in the Hood, a film that contributed to the death of thousands of young black males here in California and across the United States of America. Yes, brother?
About 15 minutes.
Okay. So 1990, he does this album. 1991, he does Boys in the Hood, where he played a so-called starring role. He was a thug in the film, glorifying gang violence. So he's coming out of Niggas with Attitudes, explicit content, early version, parental advisory, explicit content. They have to have stickers on their albums to warn people. Straight Outta Compton. They're supposed to epitomize the opposite of Public Enemy and the so-called black consciousness music or black conscious rap. But really, is that true? Well, here you have Niggas with Attitudes, Straight Outta Compton, which Ice Cube was a member. Ice Cube in 1990 does America KKK's Most Wanted. And who produced this album? The Bomb Squad. The Bomb Squad also produced Woo, Public Enemy.
Is that Geller?
Wait, hold on. Look at this. The Bomb Squad produces Ice Cube in 1990, but they also produced Public Enemy. Here's the members of the Bomb Squad. Here is Ice Cube albums, America KKK. They also produced Belle Biv DeVoe, Poison. That girl is poison. Never trust a big butt in a smile. You go back and look at that video. They produced Slick Rick. They produced Third Base. They produced Belle Biv DeVoe and Poison. And let's see some of these members here. Hank Shocko, Keith Shocko, Eric Vietnam Sadler, Gary G. Wiz, and who? Chuck D. Who is Chuck D? Chuck D is the leader of Public Enemy. Y'all beginning to see? Think about this. Now, some people would argue, yeah, but Ice Cube, this was after he was with NWA, so it doesn't apply. And Chuck D would never have anything to do with NWA because they were all talking about gang and killing black people, and Chuck D and Public Enemy was all about the upliftment of black people. There's no way that Chuck D would be even caught in a picture with NWA members. Who's this? Chuck D. And who is this? Eazy-E. You see? Now, this brings up an important point. If you claim to be about black uplift, if you claim to be a man, if you claim to be an honorable being, then you don't hang out with and you don't deal with people who are dishonorable. And you don't take pictures with them, and you don't do music with them. And you don't even call them on the phone because you have to set a standard by which you live. And this is an example of a low standard. This also ties into from Malcolm to Chuck D and Eazy-E. The gradual acceptance of ethical and intellectual mediocrity amongst black leadership. Again, Public Enemy 1987, was Public Enemy promoting issues of black consciousness, or were they merely used to tap into a new consumer market, i.e. the so-called black conscious community? Public Enemy's discography 1987 to 1994. 1987, Yo Bum vs. Show, 2%. 1988, It Takes a Million to Hold Us Back, 12%. 1990, Fear of a Black Planet, 65%. 1991, Apocalypse, 52%. 1992, Greatest Misses, 44%. And 1994, Music in Our Message, 58%. Positive lyrical content. But as I stated before, all of this should be 100%. If your standard, if 44%, if I come to you and 44% of the time I'm just and I'm honorable, and the rest of the amount of time I'm calling you a bitch and a hoe, is that acceptable to you? No. If 58% of the time I come to you and I say, you know what, we have to make sure that we do whatever we can to help black people. But then the rest of the time I say, you know what, niggas ain't nothing but stupid ass gigolos. Is that acceptable to you? See, all of this should be 100. And if you're a man, all of this should be 100. And if you are a father, it's 100%. And if you are committed a husband, it should be 100% of the time. Are these percentile changes reflective of Public Enemy's creative and conscious growth? Absolutely not. Or are these percentage changes reflective of a marketing strategy employed to tap into new consumer markets that began in 1988? And the answer is absolutely yes.